Spokes, you're so nice and calm kid. He loves to sit everywhere. And sometimes he even take in my chair, right, Spokes? Yeah, he likes talking to me too. And now back to the news. Interesting way Donald Trump, not interesting at all for me, but there were some people who were existing if he took it as a grant, as a major behavior for himself. He took the social life from the wrong side, and as I don't know what his mother and father, we saw the pictures about his mother and father, but apparently it didn't make nothing good. Neither environment, neither the other people. The whole social life which he was living, he was living in that social life through all his life. And I'm talking about that he did not find anything good in his life to wear on his mind as a behavior, take it something better than what he was doing. But no, he decided to go this way. He went, and that's what bring him as a president. He is very proud that he is second time he really got his chair to be a president. But gosh, what we see on this position as a president, it just, he does not want to give up. He does not want to give up. So in true justice, through all of this time fighting with a like Donald Trump, does not want to give up. Besides, the true justice is grown pretty much. We can feel it. We will fight those symptoms which are named Trump. Yes, Trumpism. People find the name even, Trumpism. Yeah. Well, 5 hours ago, Ari Melber. Today, just now, it's already another day. It was August 15, and now it's just 12, first minute past after midnight, August 16. Well, let's listen, maybe, first.
And Trump and Putin critic Gary Steingard on these parallels.
You wouldn't even do corruption this openly in a country like Russia. You would not do that brazen, obvious level of corruption. This is like old school, I don't know, 17th century, the king is always right and takes whatever he wants levels of corruption. I mean, nobody crimes like this.
Nobody crimes like this. And that's the Putin comparison. We're joined by NYU history professor Ruth Ben-Ghiat, author of Strongmen, Mussolini to the Present. What do you see here?
And it's aired, it was
aired.
aired.
I see corruption is at the heart of how autocrats operate, and transparency is the enemy of corruption. And so what is going on here, trying to, gut this corporate transparency act, which was a bipartisan measure. It was one of many things the Biden administration did to make financial malfeasance more difficult. And Marco Rubio called it my Corporate Transparency Act. He was very proud of it. And it required people to, when they opened a shell company, to put down a name. So you couldn't be anonymous. And that matters because shell companies, and the U.S. is the largest, it's the country that's at the top of money laundering in the world. And this has been so for some years. It's not just money laundering, though. It's funding terrorism, arms trafficking, drug trafficking, all kinds of malfeasance. And so, of course, the Trump administration, it's not only acting to cover up activities of U.S. People engaging in malfeasance, but also its many friends abroad who Chinese kleptocrats, Russian kleptocrats, and so this is considered very serious. And Senator Malinowski, who was another sponsor of the bill, says it's one of the most lawless and corrupt things this administration has ever done.
And it comes amidst this other reporting that 300 some accounts were closed over what in bank terminology they call it these AML concerns. There are major departments, usually called compliance departments, that deal with this. And most operating businesses don't have this type of problem. Now, I want to be clear, as I said, there hasn't been a court process to review whether actual money laundering occurred. But you can get your account closed for less than that because you're not going to jail. They're just saying there's too much smoke here. How do you view that story? And then what Steingart argued is kind of just the blatant approach to all this.
So back during the first Trump administration, Congressman Adam Schiff talked about credible allegations of money laundering by Trump businesses, and money laundering through real estate, helping Russians in particular, has long been reputed and an object of interest, let's say. So this goes right into that. But I want to say that. For autocrats, the whole purpose of holding office is totally different than other kinds of leaders. It's not about public welfare. It's about rearranging government to be able to profit privately off of public office. And it's not just you, it's also your family, your kids, and cronies, and the families of cronies. And so we see this in the United States, and this has been going on at record speed. And so many people have said it's unprecedented in American history, but it's quite shockingly fast as a development, even if you compare it to the first 20 months of foreign autocracies. So we have Trump making $2.2 billion, his sons investing in drones and crypto, and of course, crypto is unregulated. We also have it spreading to the family of Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. And so over time, this is how we get to what is called a mafia state, where you have these clans and their economic and financial malfeasance, kind of fiefdoms. And so what every political system, democracies included, can have individual people who are corrupt. Every corporation can have people who are corrupt. But what happens under autocracy is it becomes systemized. And the whole playbook, and so that's why they go after the media, so you can't expose their wrongdoing, and you'll get sued or put in jail. And then you take over the Justice Department and the judiciary, and so you don't go after their crimes, so you have dereliction of duty, and you pardon financial and other types of criminals. Mussolini did that, Pinochet did that, and Trump has done that. And so we're in the middle of a setting up of a system of institutionalized corruption in a very disturbing manner.
Yes, very disturbing manner. Corruption, corruption, and corruption. But I believe, because I know, if not Donald Trump, this could be quite stopped. But look like our justice did not have enough people to put their feet down, and do not have neither folks who choose the Donald Trump on this election night, neither such a poor justice we had before. So everything good is growing now. That's why we're talking, we're hearing that, and hopefully it's coming, it's grown, it's big enough because all negative has to be in the hell. That's the bottom line, what I tried to say, according what I heard from this video, from other good news reporters. Let's quickly look at some comments. Can't wait till the trail starts for this administration. Oh no. No, hell no. We had enough trails with this bastardship. They never had any trail with the good people. They were killing, murdering through all kind of, and the COVID, including a COVID. Yes, so why to have a good manners with the murderers, killers, bastardship? And I am continue read. Yeah, here, for example, they know that he's a robber. Big robber in the White House. And the other just woke up. He owes them that money to the American people. We're talking about Donald Trump here. Trump is so brave, maybe he should award himself the Congressional Medal of Honor. MAGA. This is sarcasm. Yeah. Well, let's read this big one, big comment. Look, 2 hours ago. He has pardoned the worst of the worst, means Donald Trump already pardoned. However, they were rich enough to pay for their pardons. He would pardon Maxwell if she paid him enough millions, without a second thought. He is a loser and a traitor and a criminal and a sexual predator who raped girls in the early 1990s, in which he paid their parents millions, from 1 million to 16 millions, I guess. It depended on what they looked like. But he did rape those girls. He can tell you that you are wrong. You are wrong, but how about researching this payout to the parents who had their child sexually assaulted by a man who was a child predator? And those bad manners are spreadable, very spreadable. The only thing I remember, Kamala Harris was talking on her speeches, on those, not on debates, but on her rallies. And I am thinking that this is a right thing, we need this team of conversation. But she was competing with the same predator, abuser, taking such a theme of conversation. They would take everything, they have so much money around. If they need such a big necessity, they would pay, and so that's what they pay. They pay off for that Fox News at that late night, and Trump won. They try to pay off to bastard, get back to the position again, to, if not rape yet, but try to grow back to what he left behind before. And so I would think, let's think that maybe she should not talk about those. She talk about how the stepfather was molesting and abusing constantly the daughter of his wife. That was a stepfather. So we had a society which were supporting, and so children has to be afraid of such a guys, because there is no place to really there is no really good lawyers. Look what kind of society we had. There were no good lawyers, no justice. Everything was for supporting sexual abuse, abusing. All lawyers were for abuse to make more money. Look, that's what society that's what the society where the Donald Trump pick up the very important traits for himself to be something and to grow something what he liked to be. He thought everything is just good. Man society, bad man society, so they can mess up left and right. So, and Kamala Harris was talking about that. I remember about sexual abuse in the family, in the families when a mother were married and the stepfathers were abusing children, female kids. I believe it could be. It was a problem, but such a problem we have to know how to fight. But rallies, it was not helpful. And plus, yes, Donald Trump already through those parties who picked up lots of money, so much money, that parties, they had so much money through that Barack Obama presidency and so maybe before, yes. So they had so much money to pay in such emergency to win election. It was a crisis. Again, we did not have a strong enough candidate who would really be a strong opposition to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump won just because Fox News was quickly paid and they elected. That's all the news we had. Fox News prevailed. Yes. So you see, this is a very important message here of what we know already, but it's just proof that it is, and we have to get rid of this problem. Yes. Problem is a Donald Trump, and I like him. Such a person never should become a president. So all other men will never had idea in their heads if they married a woman with the children that they can go overboard, they can go cross the lines. Yeah, they can go across the whole lines, and I think it's a very, I don't know what they think in their heads. They are proving themselves for bad steps in their life. Just like a Donald Trump did so much of bad steps in their life. The other people, we all live in very toxic atmosphere because so many people were not acting right. They created such a muddy swamp society, and Donald Trump knows about this. But some people stop. If they did mistake, they stop. They think and they try to. There's always a way how to fix your mistake. The head has to be bright to think about what you're doing. You don't make more mess than you did already, so you have to think how to talk about this, how to clean your mess, right? But no one man in this society would like to clean the mess after him. So the mess which was created through the whole manhood, through the decades, because everything was tolerable. We had a crisis through all of this mess. Crisis in the family, crisis in the schools, crisis in the government. So now we're rapidly fighting this problem, which is concentrated, that whole problem, in that fellow named Donald Trump. He should never be a president. And we never would allow to be a president somebody like a Donald Trump. So the people and the families will see a good manners, a good lectures, a lots of advices, what is advisable to do or to be in a social life, at work, everywhere, in the public places, in the family, and what is not advisable to be. And this video I liked, so I decided to put it in my blog and share it with my viewers.